Hi, I'm April Holly at American Tiger Martial Arts and Fitness, and I want to go over some of the stances that we use in our style. So first of all, some people get a little confused between what's a guarding stance and what's a half horse. So a guarding stance, what you want to do, and I'll do it sideways, is you want to be in a position where if you need to move in any direction, you can. And how you do that is you want your feet wide enough to be stable and also not too wide that you can't move. So usually a little bit more than hip width apart. You want to keep your knees bent, and this gives you a place where you can react quickly. And so that's a guarding stance. And that differs from a half horse, which we also do use in self-defense occasionally when we're maybe bumping into somebody or doing a throw. And so a half horse is where your feet are lined up in the same direction. You want to keep a master's pose. When you're learning it, it's okay to get lined up in the stance and look down and just check your feet. Are they lined up? And what I mean by that is sometimes people will think they're in a good guarding stance and the one foot will be here, right? And sometimes that's there and that's there. So if you do yoga, this is like a warrior pose. So if you're kind of used to that, this might feel a little bit different. So we want to be on an angle. It's a very solid stance. If somebody were to push in or I need to bump into somebody, that energy just travels right down my leg. My leg is rooted to the ground. And then I can use it with my heel. If I do it on the side and I get pushed, I'm having to grip the floor with my foot in order not to be able to keep my stance. So that's why we want to root that heel to the ground. When you switch your half horses, you want to pick your heels up off the ground and rotate on the balls of your feet. So you'll do this. Right, so this is a really great exercise for everybody to do, all the way from dragons all the way up to master black belts, is to just practice this. You switch your hips, you put those heels back down. If you think you're not sure if your feet are straight, do it with a master's pose, then take a look. If you need to adjust, adjust. All right, so that's a half horse. Now a full horse, when we do first squat position, we want those feet straight, all right? And in a lot of styles, in a lot of traditional Kung Fu, they would say keep your feet straight through second and third squat position. Some now are saying that if you have any knee issues or you feel any pressure on your knees when you're doing this, to go ahead and turn your feet out to match the angle of your legs. All right, and when you want to get as low as you can and keep your back straight. So for me, this is something I'm working on because I have tight hips. So I'm working on getting low, keeping my knees behind my feet, and being able to get low enough to be in third squat position. Now, a true third squat position, your thighs are parallel to the ground. At this point, I have to lean forward to do it. Like I said, this is something I'm working on. But if you're in third squat position, your thighs are parallel to the ground. This is traditional. For some people, it feels like you're having to lean forward a lot. So if this helps, or like they say, it's like you're holding a ball of air, that's helpful. But for me, my hips are back too far, my knees are above my toes, so I'm going to be working on that to see if I can loosen up my hips, be able to get a better third squat position. So everybody, even me, I am a master's rank, always have stuff to work on. So another one is a kick stance. So if you're in your first squat position, really all you need to do is turn your foot, and you want your standing leg to have all the weight. So when you pick up your foot, you're not having to, your head doesn't move. All right. When you start, you might be in your kick stance here. As you kind of get better at the martial art, you want to have your foot farther away. And usually your foot's at like a 90-degree angle to your other foot. So you can come to this side, same thing. If I pick up my foot, my head doesn't move. So that means I have all the weight on the back foot. Okay, the next one I want to show you is a cross step. This can be a little tricky in that if I cross my right foot over the left, this is a right cross step, and that's the foot that stays flat. So I step and my whole foot's on the ground. It's the foot that was crossed over that goes into the kickstand. So you pull up your heel and you get low, so you're here. A lot of times you're doing in a form, you're doing maybe a strike like this. But if you see from here, my knee is right above my heel. All right? And your back is straight. You still want the master's pose. A lot of times when you're doing this, you have tendency to kind of lean like this. So tucks the hips back over, get that back nice and straight, and that's a cross step. And you're not likely to do a cross step in a self-defense situation unless somebody has moved into you, you've lost your balance. Often you have to catch yourself, cross step style, and step out again. And that's usually faster. So say I'm here, somebody crashes into me, and I come out my guarding stance. So having a strong cross step helps me to maintain my balance in that transition between being here and then being maybe knocked to the side. So here's a good series that I like. So you start in first squat position, and you can either have your hands here or here. This is more traditional, kind of helps expand your lungs. So you go from here to a half horse. And you go back to full horse, kind of settle into that, go to the other half horse. Come back to the full horse, and again, keep settling down, checking things. I'm going to move over so I'm not on top of the mat lines here. And then you go to a kick stance. And come back to the full horse. And then come to the other kick stance. Go back to full horse. Go to the right cross step. So you come over and you chop. Come back, full horse again. Go over the other cross step, and so and chop. So even me, this is something I'm going to be doing. If you notice, I kind of lost my balance, so I'll probably do that one again. Come back, come over, and chop. And then do a self-check. Am I up on the ball of my foot? Is my knee above my ankle? And then again, every time you come back, you're coming into another full horse squat just to make that super stable. So that's something you guys could be working on. Like I said, anybody from dragon to master. Obviously I have some work to do, and I plan to do it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully that's helpful.